Well, hello there. Solar eclipse 10 degrees Libra, which will occur on October 2nd, 2024. Let me first read to you from Cherubel's book, and this is very fitting also, because today I think Trump was convicted from what I heard in the news. Okay, 10 degrees Libra from Cherubel. A prison door fitted with iron spikes and framed with iron girders. And it goes on and says, he will not escape open criticism, and misfortune will press heavily upon him. Yet even the caged bird will sing, and to every prison house there is a way out. It is a degree of seclusion. And I thought, oh my God, it happened today. So I just thought, how befitting. Anyway, I think this solar eclipse that's going to happen in October, which is a month away from election, but he was already convicted. But this is what I think. I think the solar eclipse is about a trial that involved sex and hush money. I'm talking about this solar eclipse that's coming up in October. And I thought to myself, that trial is over and this solar eclipse is going to occur in October. Well, I guess we'll know when we get there. Well, let's continue. Because I am going to read the chart, because that's what I see in the chart. If there were no transitive planets, you wouldn't have to deal with ups and downs in life. The transiting planets can enter one of the houses and hit one or more of your natal and progress planets with aspects that could bring you joy, pain, or sadness. That's why you hear people say life can be hard, or it's good to be alive. We start with the eclipses as triggers that will make things or events happen in your life. For instance, a progress chart has determined that something will happen. A planet changes direction in your progress chart. You will not notice anything until a lunation comes along and hits it. If the lunation does not hit any of your natal or progress planets, then nothing happens, or you won't feel it, or you're not going to experience it. Let's look at the solar eclipse. Well, I'm using the USA chart because I live in this country. If I lived in Japan, or if I live in Japan, I will use the solar eclipse influence on Japan's chart. Remember that astrology is about longitudes, latitudes, and time zones. It's location, location, location. If I live in Italy, I will use the longitude and latitude of Italy. So what's this solar eclipse about? The 10-degree Libra conjuncts Mercury. And Mercury is actually 11 degrees, so it's passing. On a personal level, you could encounter a tempting relationship. People who enter your life at this time are pretty and sexy. Some will smile with a dimple, and the girls are shapely with a noticeable derriere. However, they are not as graceful or tactful. They would likely be a counselor, beautician, salesperson, advisor, mediator, or work with the public. Many of them will likely be young, younger, or youthful in appearance. There will be the desire to be with others. And there is a possibility of getting into a relationship with someone who's not the usual type and doing something that could cause one to be sorry. One knows what he or she should not do, but succumbs. The relationship could be more about sex than marriage. Now let's cover health. Watch what you consume. Weight loss procedures seem to be popular. I'm talking about the drugs and where I think you make your stomach small. Take care not to strain the lumbar area with lifting heavy items. Veins would need special attention too. The economy. It is about the stock market. I would say it is about interest rates and more specifically mortgage rates, the dollar, and the job market. Retailers will be one of the focus. Americans are speculating and enjoying themselves traveling and on social media. The social media is going to be busy. Why would the Fed cut interest rates when the economy seems to be booming? Well, the boom has been fueled by immigration. Why? The seventh house ruler of the USA chart is Jupiter, and it's in the first house. That's why. And Venus is in detriment in Scorpio and trines Mars in fall in Cancer in the second house. So we have a grand water trine. This is kind of like cheating. You know it's not a good thing to do, but it is going to be good for the economy. Things are not on the up and up. This is like winning by cheating, but everybody's happy. Now let's get to the politics, because I think this chart is really about politics. I read earlier from Cherubel's book, so I will read the solar eclipse chart or the event or the trial, which is supposed to be behind us when we get to October. I think this chart is a legal case. I just heard that the former president has been convicted. However, I think this chart, I would have to say, if it's not him, it's a politician. Capricorn rising indicates politics. Saturn is in the second house, intercepted in the sign of Pisces, along with this dispositor Neptune, and Saturn is retrograde. Pisces rules seclusion or even jail or prison. The other dispositor is Jupiter, separating from a square to Saturn. You see, these are all separating aspects, indicating that the legal matter or the conviction has already taken place. Jupiter is the natural ruler of the ninth house, the legal house where the solar eclipse is taking place. In the chart, look at the ninth house. Mercury rules the eighth. That's money and sex. Now look at Venus. Solar eclipses dispositor. Venus is in detriment in Scorpio. And what is Scorpio? It's about sex and money because it is the natural sign of the eighth house. And now look at Saturn. It's in the second house of money as well as its immediate future. So let's get back to Pluto in the first house. It is in 29 degrees. It's a degree of desperation. It's at the end of the road for the last time, and it's desperate to move on. Remember that Pluto will move forward into Aquarius, and this is the last time Pluto will be in Capricorn, which is government and politics. Now, Pluto is the dispositor of Venus and Mars, as I mentioned earlier. Mars is in its fall and square solar eclipse in Libra in a past degree. See, everything is something that has, there It's moving away, supposed to be moving away from something that happened in the past. Mars is the natural ruler of sex, or the 8th house. Venus is applying to trine Mars. Pluto is the dispositor of both Venus and Mars. Well, what's Pluto about? Sex, bribery, arm twisting, things like that. Although the Trump trial is over, it can make headlines again in October. And Pluto also represents a group. So this is why I just thought, how weird. Well, that's it for today.